Welcome to Success Fuel Pro channel. In today's video, we're uncovering the top 10 most important rules and laws that can change your life and work forever. These principles will help you become more productive, efficient, and successful. Let's dive in.
1. Pareto Principle, 80-20 rule. Rank 100. 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. Focus on the vital few and ignore the trivial many.
Now, we're diving into one of the most powerful principles that can transform your life and work. The Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20th rule. The Pareto Principle was first identified by an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto in the late 19th century. While studying wealth distribution in Italy, Pareto made a groundbreaking discovery. Approximately 80% of the land was owned by just 20% of the population. This observation led Pareto to realize a fascinating pattern. A small number of people often control a large portion of resources. This principle, now known as the 80-20th rule, suggests that roughly 80% of outcomes result from 20% of causes. But the impact of the Pareto Principle extends far beyond wealth distribution. In the business world, it means that 80% of your sales likely come from just 20% of your clients. By focusing on these key clients, businesses can optimize their efforts and achieve greater success. The 80-20th rule can also revolutionize your productivity. Consider your daily tasks. 80% of your most important work is often completed in just 20% of your time. By identifying and prioritizing these high-impact tasks, you can boost your efficiency and achieve your goals faster. Set 2 hours. In the world of computer science, Microsoft has successfully applied the Pareto Principle. During their software development process, they found that 80% of the most common software bugs and crashes were caused by just 20% of the code. By focusing on fixing these critical 20% of the code, Microsoft was able to significantly improve the reliability and performance of their software. Successful companies and individuals leverage the Pareto Principle to their advantage. By focusing on the vital few and ignoring the trivial many, they maximize their results and create a significant impact. So, how can you apply the Pareto Principle in your life? Start by identifying the 20% of activities that lead to 80% of your desired outcomes. Focus your energy on these high-impact activities and watch as your productivity and success soar. Remember, the Pareto Principle is not just a rule, it's a powerful mindset. Embrace it, and you'll find that a small amount of effort can lead to extraordinary results.
2. Murphy's Law. Rank 98. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Prepare for the unexpected.
Understanding Murphy's Law. Now, we're diving into one of the most intriguing principles that can help you navigate life's uncertainties. Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law states, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. This principle reminds us to prepare for unexpected challenges and to have a Plan B ready at all times. Murphy's Law is named after Edward A. Murphy, an American aerospace engineer. In the late 1940s, while working on a high-speed rocket sled experiment, Murphy discovered a critical wiring error. Frustrated, he remarked, "If there's any way to do it wrong, he'll find it." This observation evolved into the broader principle we know today. A famous example of Murphy's Law in action is the Challenger space shuttle disaster in 1986. Despite rigorous testing and precautions, a failure in an O-ring seal led to a catastrophic explosion shortly after launch. This tragic event highlighted the importance of anticipating and addressing even the smallest potential issues. Murphy's Law isn't just for engineers and scientists. It applies to our everyday lives, too. Have you ever noticed that the moment you're running late, traffic seems worse? Or that your computer crashes right before a deadline? That's Murphy's Law at work. So, how can we use Murphy's Law to our advantage? Here are some practical tips. Plan for the worst. Always have a backup plan. Whether it's bringing an umbrella on a cloudy day or setting multiple alarms, being prepared can save you a lot of stress. Double-check everything. From important documents to travel plans, a second look can catch potential problems before they become crises. Stay flexible. Embrace the unexpected and be ready to adapt. Flexibility can turn a potential disaster into a manageable hiccup. Remember, Murphy's Law isn't about being pessimistic. It's about being prepared. By expecting the unexpected, you can turn potential setbacks into opportunities for growth and resilience.
3. Parkinson's Law, rank 96. Work expands to fill the time available. Set tight deadlines to boost productivity.
Mastering Parkinson's Law. Now, we're diving into an insightful principle that can revolutionize your productivity and time management: Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law states, work expands to fill the time available for its completion. This means that if you give yourself a week to complete a 2-hour task, the task will grow in complexity and importance, taking up the entire week. Parkinson's Law was first articulated by Cyril Northcote Parkinson, a British historian and author, in a humorous essay published in The Economist in 1955. Parkinson observed that, as bureaucracies grow, they tend to create more work for themselves, regardless of the actual workload. A famous historical example of Parkinson's Law can be seen in the British civil service. Parkinson noted that the number of employees in the British Colonial Office increased even as the British Empire declined. This growth was not due to an increase in work, but rather the expansion of bureaucracy itself. So, how can you use Parkinson's Law to your advantage in daily life and work? Here are some practical tips. Set shorter deadlines. By giving yourself less time to complete tasks, you force yourself to focus and work more efficiently. For example, if you think a task will take a day, try to finish it in half a day. Break tasks into smaller parts. Divide larger tasks into smaller, manageable chunks with their own deadlines. This prevents procrastination and keeps you motivated. Use time blocking. Allocate specific blocks of time for each task and stick to them. This helps you stay on track and prevents tasks from dragging on. For a deeper understanding of Parkinson's Law, you can read Parkinson's book, Parkinson's Law: The Pursuit of Progress. This insightful and entertaining read explores the implications of his law and provides valuable lessons on productivity and organizational behavior. Remember, Parkinson's Law is a powerful tool to help you maximize your productivity and make the most of your time. By setting realistic deadlines and staying disciplined, you can achieve more in less time.
4. Law of Diminishing Returns, rank 95. More input eventually leads to less output. Know when to stop.
Understanding the Law of Diminishing Returns. Now, we're diving into a fundamental economic principle that can provide valuable insights into your productivity and efficiency. The Law of Diminishing Returns. The Law of Diminishing Returns states that as you continue to add more of one input, while keeping other inputs constant, the additional output you get from each new unit of input will eventually decrease. This principle was first observed in agriculture. Imagine a farmer adding more and more fertilizer to a crop. Initially, the yield increases significantly. However, after a certain point, adding more fertilizer results in smaller and smaller increases in yield, and eventually, it may even harm the plants. A famous example in the industrial world is assembly line production. When Henry Ford revolutionized automobile manufacturing with the assembly line, each additional worker initially increased productivity. However, after reaching an optimal number of workers, adding more didn't contribute as much to productivity and could even slow down the process due to overcrowding. So, how does the law of diminishing returns apply to our daily lives and work? Here are some practical tips. Optimize your efforts. Recognize the point where additional effort starts to yield less benefit. For instance, working longer hours may initially increase productivity, but beyond a certain point, fatigue sets in and efficiency drops. Balance your resources. Whether it's time, money, or energy, balance how you allocate these resources. Spreading yourself too thin can lead to diminishing returns on your efforts. Prioritize quality over quantity. Focus on the quality of your work rather than just the quantity. This helps you avoid the trap of diminishing returns and ensures that your output remains valuable. Incorporating the law of diminishing returns into your mindset can help you achieve a better balance between effort and reward. By understanding when to push forward and when to step back, you can maintain high productivity without burning out.
5. Occam's razor is rank 94. The simplest solution is usually correct. Simplicity is key.
The power of simplicity. Understanding Occam's razor. Now, we're going to talk about a fascinating and practical principle called Occam's razor. This principle can make our lives and work simpler and more efficient. So, stay with us. Occam's razor is a philosophical principle attributed to the English friar William of Occam. The principle states that when presented with competing hypotheses or explanations, the one that makes the fewest assumptions should be selected. In simpler terms, the simplest solution is usually the best one. The term razor is used metaphorically. Just like a razor shaves off unnecessary hair, Occam's razor cuts away unnecessary assumptions and complexities. This helps us get to the core of a problem or a question more efficiently. Let's look at some historical examples. Heliocentric theory. In the 16th century, Nicolaus Copernicus proposed that the Earth revolves around the Sun, rather than the Sun around the Earth. This simpler explanation eventually replaced the more complex Ptolemaic system, which required numerous assumptions to explain the same observations. Theory of evolution. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection provided a simpler and more coherent explanation for the diversity of life compared to previous theories. It avoided the need for multiple assumptions about the creation of each species individually. How can we apply Occam's razor in our daily lives and work? Problem solving. When faced with a problem, try to identify the simplest solution first. Complex solutions may seem impressive, but they often come with more risks and potential errors. Decision-making. When making decisions, consider the simplest and most straightforward option. This can save time and resources. Communication. Clear and simple communication is more effective. Avoid unnecessary jargon or complicated explanations when a simple one will do. Imagine you're working on a team project and things aren't going smoothly. There are multiple potential reasons: miscommunication, lack of resources, unclear goals, etc. Applying Occam's razor, you might start by checking if everyone clearly understands the project goals. Often, simple miscommunication can be the root cause, and addressing it can solve many related issues without diving into more complex explanations. Occam's razor reminds us of the power of simplicity. By cutting through complexity and focusing on the simplest explanation, we can make better decisions and solve problems more effectively. Next time you face a tough question, remember, the simplest solution is often the best one.
6. Peter Principle. Rank 93. People rise to their level of incompetence. Recognize and optimize your strengths.
The Peter Principle. Why employees rise to their level of incompetence. Now, we're diving into an intriguing concept called the Peter Principle. Ever wondered why some people in your organization seem to struggle in their roles? The Peter Principle might just have the answer. Stay tuned. The Peter Principle is a concept in management theory formulated by Dr. Lawrence J. Peter. It states that, in a hierarchy, every employee tends to rise to his level of incompetence. This means that employees are promoted based on their success in previous roles until they reach a position where they are no longer competent. Promotions are typically awarded for competence in a current role, not necessarily for skills required in the next role. For example, an excellent software developer might be promoted to a managerial position despite lacking management skills. The mismatch between the new role's requirements and the employee's abilities leads to the Peter Principle. Let's look at some examples. Corporate world. Consider a sales superstar who is promoted to sales manager. As a salesperson, they excelled in closing deals. But as a manager, they might struggle with leadership, delegation, and strategy, areas they were never trained for. Public sector. In government agencies, an effective policy analyst might be promoted to a policy director. However, the skills needed to analyze policies differ greatly from those required to lead a team and manage complex projects. The Peter Principle can have significant impacts on organizations. Decreased efficiency. Employees stuck at their level of incompetence can lead to decreased overall efficiency and productivity. Employee morale. When employees find themselves in roles they can't handle, it can lead to frustration, stress, and low morale. Organizational health. Over time, an accumulation of incompetent managers can harm the organization's health and effectiveness. Here are some strategies to counteract the Peter Principle in your organization. Regular training and development. Provide continuous training and development opportunities to help employees gain the skills needed for their new roles. Competency-based promotions. Evaluate employees not only on their current performance, but also on their potential for success in the new role. Lateral moves. Consider lateral moves as a form of career development rather than always promoting upwards. Mentoring and support. Establish mentorship programs to support newly promoted employees as they transition into their new roles. Practical example. Imagine you work in a tech company where a brilliant coder is promoted to lead the development team. Initially, they struggle with team dynamics and project management. Applying strategies to mitigate the Peter Principle, the company offers them management training, assigns a mentor, and provides ongoing support. Over time, they develop the necessary skills and thrive in their new role, benefiting both themselves and the organization. The Peter Principle highlights a common challenge in many organizations. By understanding this principle and applying strategies to counteract it, we can help ensure that employees are not only successful in their current roles, but also prepared for future challenges.
7. Hofstadter's Law. Rank 92. It always takes longer than you expect. Plan for delays.
Unlocking productivity. Understanding Hofstadter's Law. Now, we're exploring Hofstadter's Law. Have you ever underestimated how long a task would take, even when you knew it would take longer than expected? That's Hofstadter's Law in action. Let's dive in. Hofstadter's Law is a time management principle coined by cognitive scientist Douglas Hofstadter. The law states, it always takes longer than you expect, even when you take into account Hofstadter's Law. In simpler terms, We consistently underestimate the time required to complete tasks, no matter how much we try to adjust our expectations. Several cognitive biases contribute to Hofstadter's law. Planning fallacy. We tend to be overly optimistic about our ability to complete tasks quickly. Complexity. Underestimation. We often fail to account for unforeseen complications. Motivated reasoning. We might downplay potential delays to align with our desires or goals. Let's look at some real-world examples. Project management. In software development, projects frequently run over schedule. For instance, the development of the Denver International Airport's automated baggage system was originally expected to take 2 years, but ended up taking 6 years to complete. Home renovations. Many people start home renovation projects expecting them to finish in a few weeks. But unexpected issues like structural problems or delayed materials often extend the timeline significantly. Understanding Hofstadter's law can help us improve our planning and time management. Here are some strategies. Buffer time. Always add extra time to your estimates to account for unforeseen delays. Break down tasks. Divide large projects into smaller, more manageable tasks to better estimate the time required for each part. Review and reflect. Regularly review past projects to understand where and why you underestimated time, and adjust your future estimates accordingly. Set realistic deadlines. Communicate realistic timelines to stakeholders to manage expectations and avoid unnecessary pressure. Hofstadter's law teaches us that things almost always take longer than we expect. By recognizing this, we can plan better, reduce stress, and improve our productivity.
8. Law of attraction. Rank 91. Thoughts bring experiences. Think positive, attract positive.
Harnessing the power of thoughts. Understanding the law of attraction. Now, we're exploring the law of attraction. Have you ever wondered how your thoughts can shape your reality? That's the essence of the law of attraction. Let's dive in. The law of attraction is a philosophical principle suggesting that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. In simpler terms, we attract what we focus on. If you constantly think about success and positivity, you're more likely to experience those outcomes. The law of attraction works on the premise that like attracts like. Here are some key points. Thoughts and vibrations. Every thought emits a vibration that attracts similar vibrations from the universe. Focus and manifestation. By focusing on positive thoughts and goals, we can manifest our desires into reality. Belief and action. Believing in your ability to achieve your goals and taking consistent action towards them are crucial components. Let's look at some real-world examples. Career success. Many successful entrepreneurs credit their mindset and positive thinking for their achievements. For instance, Oprah Winfrey often speaks about how visualizing her success helped her overcome numerous obstacles. Personal relationships. People who focus on positive attributes and gratitude in their relationships often find more harmony and satisfaction compared to those who dwell on negativity and conflicts. Understanding the law of attraction can help us create the life we desire. Here are some strategies. Visualization. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals as if they've already been achieved. This strengthens your belief and motivation. Positive affirmations. Use positive affirmations to reinforce your goals and self-belief. For example, I am capable of achieving great things. Gratitude practice. Keep a gratitude journal to focus on what you're thankful for. This shifts your mindset to positivity and abundance. Surround yourself with positivity. engage with positive people, and consume uplifting content to maintain a positive outlook. The law of attraction teaches us that our thoughts have the power to shape our reality. By focusing on positivity and believing in our goals, we can attract the experiences we desire.
9. Metcalfe's Law. Rank 90. Network value grows with users. Build connections.
The power of networks. Understanding Metcalfe's Law. Now, we're diving into Metcalfe's Law, a fundamental principle that explains the value of networks. Ever wondered why the internet or social media platforms become more valuable as more people use them? That's Metcalfe's Law in action. Let's explore. Metcalfe's Law, named after Robert Metcalfe, co-inventor of Ethernet, states that the value of a network is proportional to the square of the number of its users. In simpler terms, as more people join a network, its overall value increases exponentially. The law works based on network effects. Here's how. Exponential growth. The potential connections in a network grow exponentially with each new user. If a network has n users, the number of possible connections is approximately n squared. Increased utility. As more users join, the utility for each user increases. For example, a social media platform becomes more valuable as more friends and family members join. Let's look at some real-world examples. The Internet. The Internet's value has skyrocketed as more devices and users connect to it. Each new user adds more content, services, and connections, enhancing the experience for everyone. Social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn become more useful as more people join. The network effect means more connections, more content, and more opportunities for interaction. Telecommunications. The value of a phone network increases as more people have phones. Each new subscriber increases the number of people others can call, making the network more valuable. Understanding Metcalfe's Law can help us make better decisions in both personal and professional contexts. Here are some strategies. Leveraging social networks. Actively grow your professional network on platforms like LinkedIn. The more connections you have, the more opportunities for collaboration and career growth. Building communities. If you're creating a new product or service, focus on building a community around it. The more users you attract, the more valuable your offering becomes. Collaborative projects. Encourage collaboration in your organization. As more team members share their ideas and expertise, the overall value and innovation potential of the team increases. Metcalfe's Law highlights the exponential value of growing networks. By understanding and leveraging this principle, we can maximize the potential of our personal and professional connections.
10. Law of Unintended Consequences. Rank 89. Actions have unexpected effects. Think ahead.
Expect the unexpected. Understanding the law of unintended consequences. Now, we're diving into the law of unintended consequences. Have you ever taken an action that led to unexpected results? That's what this law is all about. Let's explore how it works and how we can navigate its complexities. The law of unintended consequences states that actions of people, and especially of governments, always have effects that are unanticipated or unintended. These consequences can be positive, negative, or perverse. Several factors contribute to unintended consequences. Complexity. The world is complex, and it's challenging to predict how different elements will interact. Lack of knowledge. We often don't have all the information needed to foresee all potential outcomes. Short-term focus. People tend to focus on immediate effects rather than long-term consequences. Human behavior. People react to actions in unpredictable ways, often leading to unexpected outcomes. Let's look at some real-world examples. Prohibition. In the 1920s, the United States government banned alcohol to reduce crime and health problems. Instead, it led to a rise in organized crime and illegal alcohol production. DDT usage. The pesticide DDT was used to kill mosquitoes and reduce malaria. However, it led to environmental damage and health issues in wildlife and humans. Cobra effect. In colonial India, the British government offered a bounty for dead cobras to reduce their population. People started breeding cobras to kill them for the reward, increasing the cobra population instead. Understanding this law can help us make better decisions. Here are some strategies. Thorough planning. Consider potential outcomes and plan for various scenarios before taking action. Seek diverse perspectives. Consult with others who may foresee different consequences of an action. Monitor and adjust. Continuously monitor the results of your actions and be prepared to adjust your approach as needed. Think long-term. Focus on the long-term effects of your actions, not just the immediate results. The law of unintended consequences reminds us that our actions can have unexpected results. By understanding this principle and planning accordingly, we can better navigate the complexities of decision-making.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspirational content. Until next time, keep striving for excellence.